what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. Speaking of injuries, Brian Kelly met with the media yesterday, gave some injury updates for the game this weekend. Tyree Adams had hernia surgery. So basically the sixth man of the offensive line now out, likely, or potentially, I should say. I don't want to say likely. Potentially out for the rest of the year. There's a lot of football left to play. So that's a big one right there to me, Jake, because he was the first man up. Who else played? Maybe it was against Nichols. It's not Monunga. I always want to say that.
Guggenheim?
What? No.
It's Paul Mabinga.
Paul Mabinga, thank you. Yes. So Paul Mabinga would feel like, okay, like if the center went down, Deli would kick over, Mabinga would come in. If a guard went down, Mabinga would come in. I wonder, after Tyree Adams, though, do we know who the first tackle up would be?
Probably Bo Bordelon.
Okay.
He played a lot in the fall. He's been more right tackle than left. Tyree Adams. But look, at fall camp, guard out, center out, tackle out, whoever. Tyree Adams was in that spot.
Yeah,
he was
for sure.
all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. He was their sixth man, which a lot of teams have. So that's what I'm saying. That's a big loss. You obviously have to hope to.
I mean, would you
stay healthy there? You're getting a little thin in a couple spots now. Like we talked about a linebacker.
You are
with that West Weeks departure or redshirting. Excuse me.
Would you Weston Davis?
That's the big freshman, right?
Yeah. If it was long term and you're like, this isn't a quick fix.
I don't know how I could answer that without getting to watch some practice, you know?
Right.
I mean, I get the idea. I get the idea with what you're saying, though, right? Freshman, super highly rated, probably has a really big ceiling. I believe in Brad Davis's ability to develop. This entire coach staff's done really good getting young players ready to play, but I don't know like how he compares to Bordelon right now. I do know this though, obviously, hopefully none of that comes to pass because one of the best parts about analyzing an LSU game before it's played is you just don't have to talk about edge defenders because they are just completely neutralized, which is truly a blessed place to be and one that I've never been to the extent that it is this year. I've never been able to cover a team where last week against Ole Miss, you're going to get a team that has the most sacks in the country, and I'm just like, but I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about like this other stuff. And that's the same thing this week. You get Landon Jackson, one of the best edge defenders in the SEC, and as good as Landon is, and this is a revenge game for him, I'm not overly concerned about him wrecking the game. I'm more concerned about, maybe Jaquin Jackson popping off, maybe Taylon Green just being locked in and making crazy plays because he's 6'5", freak athlete. But I feel good about a lot of the matchups, Jake. I really do. Arkansas has not seen a quarterback or an offense that can hold Garrett Nussmeier's jock or this offense. What quarterbacks have they faced this year? Marcel Reed from A&M, who's going to be good, but just not a playmaker through the air right now. Very conservative.
Bowman from Oklahoma State.
Tore him up, and he's not great.
Now, he has certainly come back to the turnover machine that he was a year ago.
Yes. UAB put up like 27 or something on him, and UAB's god-awful. Who else do we have?
Peyton Thorne.
I was about to say he put up 14.
Peyton Thorne.
Yeah.
Peyton Thorne, awful. Nico, who we thought was good, but how about this, Jake? Nico right now, 15% of his passes are off target. That is 77th in college football. Last year, Joe Milton, 12% of his passes were off target. So, it's continuing to go south for Ia Maliava where it's like.
There's some tape out there that he is dazed and confused right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm still betting on him long-term to be good.
Yeah,
I don't bail too quickly. It's just we crowned him too early.
Yeah.
We just got too excited by the young phenom And it was just too early. It was just these things take time. It's really hard, especially when all of a sudden defensive coordinators have tape on you, multiple games of tape to break you down. It's what you see in the NFL all the time as well, to an even further extent.
So Arkansas did a really nice job of creating a game plan to go against Iamaleava and confuse him and make him do things that he hadn't really done to that point. And that was not coming off a bye week. If I remember that right, because you played A&M the week before, so coming off a bye week, do we think there's anything they can do to confuse a quarterback that doesn't get confused very often in Garrett Nussmeier?
No, I don't. Maybe now LSU has lost the initial game planning joust almost every time this year, which is unfortunate, right? I mean, really every game, right? Except for maybe USA.
Yeah.
UCLA, I'd say was actually UCLA. You were good from the beginning, but USC, it struggled to start up for a little bit. Obviously, the other USC struggled to start up a little bit. Ole Miss did. So that would actually be one of the things I would love to see from the offense. I don't know that I'm expecting it. Would be like, hey, how about our first 10 actually look like a good, advantageous first 10 or first 8, whatever it is. But I have no illusions that Arkansas is going to hold up over 60 minutes at all.
So I wish we had some tape pulled up, and maybe by the end of the show I can do it. So when we say they came up with a plan to stop Tennessee, I don't want you to think it was this crazy exotic plan and nobody had ever seen it before. They just kind of switched up their front. They played the same coverages, but it was, disguising coverages. And it was a really nice job of trying to get guys into passing lanes, because at the end of the day, they played quarters or quarter halves. It wasn't anything that was groundbreaking. They either played cover 4 or 6 or 8, depending on what you call quarter halves. Probably, I would say 70% of the game against Tennessee. But it was kind of the way that they were getting to it, confusing a young quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't think they can confuse Garrett Nussmeier playing and ending up in quarters or quarter halves. And again, I probably don't have time to discuss what those coverages kind of look like, but just know they are very basic coverages that a lot of college football teams end up running, and it's not an aggressive nature. It is a passive coverage to try to keep everything in front of you.
I think I'll be interested to see. I feel like when teams have tried to play coverage against Garrett, he's made him pay.
Oh, I think so too.
I feel like I would come out, try to speed him up, make him prove that he can beat me, adding guys to the blitz, which you feel like opens yourself up. I get that against a veteran quarterback, but if I was a D coordinator against us, that's what I would do. Put some respect on Josh Williams' name. It's ridiculous that we're still having a fight for this.
I mean, every year, yeah.
But it's like we said though, in regards to I feel like over the past few weeks, right? Obviously, Caden Durham's this incredible home run hitter, great playmaker. Nobody else has the skill set that he has. So it becomes like, give him all the touch. But then you see he's still young, he's still learning, he's still flawed in a lot of ways. And as Caden Durham's dominating, I feel like on this show we've been telling you, look, Josh Williams is actually doing well every time he touches the ball as well. He's making the first guy miss. He's getting pop yards. He does not have the home run potential. I understand that. But he's got pass blocking, catch out of the backfield, all these sorts of things. And I felt like this last game, got to have it, biggest moment. You go to your leader, and every time he touched the ball, he came through for you.
Yeah, he graded out higher in every aspect of the game, receiver, rusher, pass blocker, run blocker, whatever it might be, than any other running back you had. And you're right. In big moments, he's always there.
Yeah.
He's always a guy that you can count on in those big moments. And you go back and you watch the coach's tape, and he's doing a really nice job, like we talked about earlier in the year where nobody was, of getting more than the plays blocked up for. Doing a really nice job of continuing to move the pile. And he's going to be counted on. He's going to be in the game. It feels like now, though, just a 2-back rotation.
Yes, it is. Well, and that's what I was telling people.
Caleb Jackson played one play.
That's what I was telling people going into this last game as well, is I understand the Caden Durham thing, but it's 2 backs. You got 2 that you should feel very good about playing that complement each other. I think Josh Williams and Caden.
I think Caden played 40 snaps or 41 snaps, and Josh played 37.
Yeah.
And then Caleb played 1. So it's a 2-back rotation. It's going to be pretty much 50-50.
Yeah. And that's what it should be. That's what it should be. So looking forward to this weekend. Does Arkansas play anybody besides Jaquin and Jackson? I mean, I know somebody else has to get in there, but does anybody have close to the amount of touches that Jaquin and Jackson does?
I'm talking about just far as the
Like
running back
ball?
position.
Yeah, hold on. I got it right here. No, they got no.
I mean,
Braylon Russell has 24 carries.
He popped against Tennessee. He had that like 28-yarder, maybe something like that.
I mean, Taylon Green's the other.
I was about to say, when you have you know how it is, when you have a dual threat quarterback, you're going to have an RB1, and he's going to be kind of your secondary rusher there. Now, I do think Russell's a good player. It's not to say that he couldn't get in there, but like T said, he's only had 24 carries on the year. If you remember, if you watched the end of the Arkansas game, he was the giant that came in. He's 6'2", 255.
Jeez, what?
Yes, he is a giant. And he was like, it was 4-minute offense. They were trying to score, but not score too quick at the end of the game. He was actually the guy that came in. I think Jackson might have been banged up at the end of the game too. But no, he is somebody that he will impose his will on you out of the backfield.
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.